And good people, we're back after a little vacation. Not on our part. I guess Stars not only wanted to take a break from giving us power content, but I guess 50 contract didn't get renewed. So I guess all operations got shut down for new planning for going forward. As we are
welcome
back.
to F. Rivera's Power.
Check out his whole category now on the app. Maybe we'll talk news and stuff. Right now it's really hard to say what is going to be the identity of Power. But Lucas, really quickly, let's give people a sigh of relief because there is a little bit of turmoil thinking like, oh my God, what's going to happen to Power now that 50's gone? So little logic
nothing.
Here.
Absolutely nothing. I mean, for anybody worried, Courtney left and they still pumping out Power.
There you
She
go.
created a character, so that should tell you how this is gonna work. You're still gonna get Power. Stars already is committed to another season of Raising Kanan. I think they announced another season of Force, and we already know they have another season of Ghost already done.
That's right. So, and it looks like Ghost may be trying to sneak out a little early. I see a little cryptid movement happening on Star social media, and we've been trying to, as we do our coverage for the Power universe and Power related stuff. We said, okay, cool. We got Raising Kanan. We'll be here for the BMF documentary, and then there's a little bit of a gap, and we're just like, well, what is it going to be? Because we'll be back January for BMF season 2, but I started to see social media's change now, pointing towards Power Book 2 Ghost, which we know that season is done and has been in the can. So
for a while now, they've had that show ready and geared up, ready to go for the new season of it, and without any influence of anything happening. So maybe that made them shuffle things around and say, hey, let's bring out Ghost now, and then we can again. I think this is that was around the time they brought back Ghost the last time.
It was because we took the break around like holiday break. I specifically remember it and came back. Yeah,
and this one was the weirdest break Stars has had in a while.
Yeah,
I told Nadria, I said, dude, this is the first like break of this amount of time since Ghost season 2, when they did that big break in the middle, and everybody was like, wait a minute, why the hell are we gone for so much time? And then Kanan comes back and does it, and we get into this one because they dropped a gem, and I got questions now. I got questions for you. I got a question for our audience out there. How many of y'all have slept?
Listen,
mom.
we gonna
pick up on the Scarface jump. My guy who called me 44, and then for them to play Scarface at the end of the episode.
I need he's gonna go there. Yep. We're gonna have a lot of fun on tonight's episode. We've obviously been gone for a little while, so we're gonna try to catch up on obviously covering episode 7, trying to fill you in on news and things and coverage plans going forward. We do not have a special guest tonight because we got thrown off by the week. I was getting ready to try to schedule something. I was like, wait, we don't even have an episode this week. So with that being said, I do got something for you all next week. Not only just for Power, but we're covering BMF the documentary, so we got something for that as well too. So that's a little bit different because it's actual stuff, so it's a documentary, so we're not going to be recapping every minute of it. It's not going to be the same style. It's not, doesn't make sense.
I lived through BMF.
Yeah,
I know enough of the story.
And y'all should too, actually.
It's gonna be a dope ass documentary for folks, especially who need to know information about the brothers and everything that happened and how they almost ran hip hop at a certain point in time. I think it's gonna be a super dope documentary for folks, but it's not something that lends itself to our major recaps. We may give you like 15 minutes or so just to go over everything, but
little things you might have not have picked up on and stuff now.
Hey, I was about to throw some shade at somebody, but I'm gonna leave that alone. It's other channels out here that you could probably get that hour-long content from on multiple different posts. Listen,
I wasn't even going to go that route, but I guess I got to now. There's also, I had a quick, let's say 5-second conversation with Lou. I guess we're moving forward about our coverage right now. and we was like, oh, I see 50 Cent appeared in something that's on a We TV, and I said, are we? And he's like, no. So listen, either you know what we're talking about or you don't, but the answer is no.
Hey, look here, when Mona exploit black people, Scott is involved, I immediately say no. It's nah, we good. We good.
But we are here for all Stars Power Universe content and BMF. I mean, you know, it's one and the same.
Hey, man, we here for every content for the culture. That's what this is, content for the culture. Anything that represents the culture on any network, we are here for, including Godfather Harlem. Finally,
yes.
I got coming back soon. So hey, man, we got y'all covered. We just not. I'm not doing that. Fake BET We TV show.
Listen, that's the new slogan. We're back here, y'all. Content for the culture. Big Old Belt Media. This is episode 7 of season 2. No Love Lost. Listen, folks, there is a lot of I told you in this episode, and we love to boast when we can boast. And I said a couple of things. I mean, one, I'm gonna give you your props first because it's very easy to remember the things you said. We already knew that the direction of the sort of the cult preaching in the church was going to be a thing. And they transitioned it so smoothly that you kind of was like, wait, what? And he's like, oh, this is Bible study. Oh, okay, cool. Like,
love how niggas do Bible study and still misinterpret the Bible. It's amazing.
Burke, Howard, this is a lot. This episode really did a lot in terms of just creating other dynamics we didn't see. I'm going to start at the top of the episode. We're going to go down. I fill you in all the told you so moments. So I'm going to start off with Juke at the cemetery, seeing Nicole's grave. Obviously, she's still bothered by it. And I can say this, like, straight up. If the shoe was on the other foot, I don't see the character Nicole being invested into Juke that
really
still after all this time she's going to see her. I'm just not feeling that.
I think I think they were truly like in love though.
Yeah.
I think she would. Like she was willing to like say forget her lifestyle, forget her parents because she loved Juke. I think it would have went both ways. I think it's one of those what they call them, the star-crossed romances that always end in tragedy. So I think she'd have did the same thing for Juke. I think it's one of those loves that once it's gone, it hits so hard that you lost it.
Yeah. I was always right about Nicole's dad. I said that there was always little tidbits about his reservations about his ex-wife, they're getting a divorce now, and Linda's actions. He kind of was the one that was kind of like, why is she acting like that? No, that does not represent this household, you know, and all these other things. And having this moment was really something I didn't think the show was going to give us. Also, I didn't think we was going to have her dad actually be a pivotal part in the story. Come to the end of this episode, I'm like,
huge part of the story at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Like, this again, go ahead. My bad.
No, and I was going to say, and then again, and I know it's a different time period, but then again, this is the reason why I really wanted the Influence series, because when you got folks that have political ramifications, as we know, he has influence in the governor's office, and you start to think, so what is it that he may be able to do for Howard at the end? We'll get to, but like when he says like, if you need anything, I'm here. That is the ultimate card of all cards. Nothing that anybody in your family can do on the level what he can do for you. And it's interesting to know because they threw it out there. What will that moment be? So I just can't believe that this character that I thought was surely done is kind of stirring back into a pivotal part.
Hey, and I know before y'all think, no, it's not Stern. That's not him as a younger man. Oh, we already know how people in power are. That's Stern. I knew it. This is when he starts. No, that's not it.
That's Proctor's dad. That's the same house.
Exactly. But again, it's great the way that story has weaved itself together. That you get this guy who we always knew he knew exactly who his daughter was. But this closing moment between him and Juke it's one of the moments you don't necessarily expect from Power, and when you get it, it just hits you a little differently. Because him at that gravesite when he said, man, like, I don't need to know anything else, when she was attempting to tell him more. And then when she said, you don't have to leave, that's Juke feeling like, you know, I need to be closer to you. And him saying, I'm here every day. Yeah. She needs a break from me. That's him acknowledging and understanding, like, my daughter loved you. And because she loved you, I care for you. Yeah. That's a hell of a connection to make. I'm saying, like, you know, I mean, for people who've lost people who have significant others, how they become family, even if their relationship wasn't a marriage or anything of that nature, they still become your family. And I think that's the start here. It does, again, bring up the questions. Does he have something to do with Juke moving to DC? Does he have something to do with what happens with her in the future? We just don't know those elements yet, but this is an amazing scene to like really be at the forefront in the beginning of the episode. They bookend him in this episode, which was something I would have never expected for this character.
No, facts. And then, like, considering that, you know, and I think it's safe to say that Juke isn't racist, but she understands just what society is around her. She's reminded every single point. And, you know, whether it's Linda, her Nicole mother, you know, accusing her for all stereotypical reasons and was never acceptance of their lifestyle, and just everything else. And then you go to the end of the episode where she has this date with this church dude, and, you know, yes, I know they were talking about the movie, but he had a lot of commentary about what white folks do and so on and so on. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's not to say that we all don't play that sort of joke time, like, oh, white people shit, da 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 da, but, like, understanding that she knows how to, like, leave that to be a thing, but that guy may not. And he actually may be, like, very prejudiced towards, like, well, white people this, white people that, which makes me think now, what is that sort of dynamic going to be? Well, because there will be.
Was he that, or was it the movie? You know what movie they was watching, right? Or I assume I know what movie they was watching.
No, I didn't even look that.
I said the crazy white babysitter, the hand that rocks the cradle.
That's right.
That's the first thing that popped into my head.
That's right.
So was it him not liking white people, or more commenting on the movie they just saw?
Well, yeah, I think it is the movie, but I'm saying, is he able to differentiate what he saw on television, or does he bring that commentary into his real life, is what I'm getting at? Because there is folks that just be like, you know, they see things and then that's their impression of what they think things are. Yeah. And I'm wondering, will there be a issue with him at some point seeing Juke, going to see Nicole grave, going to see her dad, who's always there, and he's like, what's he doing here, and da 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 da, and all this other stuff. And the reason I'm even trying to make this a thing is because everything in Juke's life is a conflict. Even at the end where we see, like, okay, I know that Howard guy, I know what he's up to. Why is he going to see more conflict?
Yeah.
What is this about? You know what I mean?
I saw a completely different conflict. I saw the conflict of what does it mean when she really decides to tell this young man, like, I'm not interested in you like that.
Oh,
like right now, it's
for sure.
Clearly just she's pulling the front because, you know, when a guy talks about Leviticus to you, you know, you get scared the hell out of you. And that's what happened with Juke here. And, you know, because a man should not sleep with a man, and man covered another wife. You know, they're saying all of that, but none of that had anything to do with women. It's a reason why. Read your Bible. But it's that fear that came over her, and that acceptance of her mom is why she's even going this far with him.
Good point.
And that's what I want to know. What's going to happen as their relationship possibly builds, or deteriorates, because it's I don't want to get too far ahead, but damn it, that scene where her and Marvin wasn't highly important. What he was saying to her. And that brought up me thinking by the end of this episode, when they kiss, of like, everything Marvin is saying is right.
Yeah.
Hey, or that you brought up last episode, because you brought that up last episode. And maybe she wants Juke to be like that perfect daughter, fit in that mold that we know Juke doesn't fit in.
Yep. Hey, you know what? I feel like we need to get LaToya Luckett on the show. That'd be a dope get, wouldn't it?
Hey, look, listen.
Y'all like that? If y'all like that, get in the comments. Like, let us know. You want that? Let me know, because I feel like that'd be a good get. And she's a absolutely very talented artist, as we know, very decorated, but a phenomenal person. She gave me the time of day.
Smells amazing. Yes. My God.
I literally said that. She's a phenomenal person, and for somebody of her caliber to even give me the time of day at a party where it was very late in the night, and I'm sure everybody was tired or drunk, whatever it may be, and she had time. She's so great. She's so gracious in everything she
No
does.
problem holding a full conversation.
Yeah,
And it was just me. Like, I even without you there, I just walked up to her and say, "Hey, I loved you in episodes we've seen so far," and that started a conversation. And I'm up there just like googly eyed. I'm not even like myself. Like everything is lost.
Call it
Lost
what you.
I'm torn in between the two.
Call it what you want, but in that room, she got to be within the top of the celebrity chain, like amongst the top of the celebrity chain. So
yeah,
but a very sweet person. But yeah, if y'all like that idea, y'all let us know in the comments if that's the one we should go after. That I think it's a good idea. But yeah, and then also, you know, Juke dad was basically like, hey, what about the tape? Which obviously means a very lot. We know what happened to the tape, but like that tape meant everything to her, and for him to be inquiring about that, obviously I think it's a really good connecting bond that they can both meet at to kind of build some type of relationship with one another, because that was you know, once what happened to Nicole happened, that's where Juke went first to kind of like, you know, have that moment. That those moments, those feels, nostalgia, all that other stuff. And
it was the happiest he had ever seen his daughter.
That is a thing.
That's a lot. It's the happiest he's ever seen. That's that you made her happy.
Yeah,
that was the happiest he's ever seen his child. That's why he wanted that tape more than anything else. It's because it just brings back those memories of his baby, and you want to remember her at her most joyous moments. And it's with.
Ethan, forget everything you got to say. You made my girl happy. I'm happy. Man. Yeah, that was. Yeah, they not only inserted this character back into a pivotal role, but they gave him very pivotal lines. These are very, very big things that were said in the arc of raising Juke. So, anywho, going to Lou, he in the studio. Lou and Ziza fucking in the studio. I think that's all I got. So, but I will say this, because at one point I said that they were like, I was for sure he was going to avoid this, but of course not. So Lou is basically turning this into Murder Inc. I don't know that to actually be true, but based on recent accounts from a certain individual
damn it, you're not calling her Ashanti. I'm gonna let you do that. Man.
Hey, don't come for me, y'all. Don't come for me, y'all.
That is so fucked up. And then after fucking her in the studio, he gets approached by the Jamaicans for Mark for Death.
Yeah,
and everything just goes downhill.
Hey, yo.
Oh man, and you knew it's the 90s, man. Let me just say that before it's the 90s. If you thought we were gonna go and not have some like Jamaican gangsters, you have not seen Shatas. You have not seen Belly.
I'm like, it's Jamaican Queens. Come on now, where we at?
Come on, man.
Where we at? Southside Jamaica Queens.
All I was waiting for one of them to say is, "Who did it? That white boy Hatcher? I want him dead."
Hey, we gotta go finish this review. This is gonna be like a 3-hour review. Nah. But seriously though, did you ever imagine that Crown death, or should I say, Crown being dead, would be more problematic than Crown being alive?
From the way Crown lived, I thought it was a possibility, because we remember when the board just went magically missing, and Crown said, "Oh, I'm gonna get it back. Don't worry about it." You had to you had to understand he was one of those people who was robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, Crown was a hustler in the worst sense of that word, and because he would leverage anything to attempt to get ahead. And unfortunately, when someone goes missing like that, and whenever you get in business, you need to be aware of who your partner is. Because rule number one, you take on whatever issues they got. I don't care what form of business you think it is. If I'm beefing with your partner, I'm beefing with you too. Yeah. And that's what this is. It's like his debt carries over to you. We've seen it in millions of gangster stories where it's like when someone goes missing, they be like, well, this is you now. You owe me money. And that's all this is with Lou. It's more interesting the way Lou handled it though.
Yeah. Aziza doesn't care because she says, "Say you need to finish," and she ain't talking about the business with the Jamaicans. To me, I like be honest. That line is so important because it tells you her focus is not really what she made it appear to be last episode, where it was like, listen, I'm about that life. If we got a problem, then I'm with you. This girl is like, hey, I need to get mines off. Don't even disregard that these Jamaicans just ran up on you. She literally came over to him and was like, hey, you need to finish. I was like, what? Poor this man Lou, man. He in a world of trouble for real.
Can't catch a break. Can't catch a break. I just had these Jamaicans run up on me. You know, I ain't even prepared no more to do this. And you like, I need to finish. How you feel? I did finish when they walked in the door. It's over. It's over. It's over for Lil Lou. It's over.
that shit is that's so funny.
It's a stereotype there that I will not say because that would be racist. It's a certain group of people, women, that, you know, no matter what, Poppy, you need to finish.
Lord knows, let him not continue to please her, and he has another homegrown issue that he need to watch his back out for.
Exactly.
So now we go to Kanan playing one of my favorite games when I was growing up, in a Tommy Hilfiger shirt that I had as well too. So this is basically a depiction of my childhood, playing Road Rash on the Sega in his Tommy Hilfiger, chilling. More importantly, though, he looks in the bag, looks at the gun, and realizes, like, I need to return this. We knew this gun was going to be a big art. We already knew where this gun was going to go. He got to go back to Paloma, Corinne's mother, to return the gun. I just, the whole time I was like, I cannot wait. Because I already knew what was happening. We all knew. We said it. If you didn't know, then surprise.
Exactly. Oh man, they just missed one opportunity there.
What's that?
Knocking Boots by H-Town should have clearly played when she took that robe off, Joe. It's the 90s. What other Joe plays but Knocking Boots by H-Town, Joe?
Hey, go ahead. Hey, let me give a shout out to our guy Eroski. He always showing love, man. I bring him up right now because, you know, it's very clear that his favorite character is Marvin. And he I guess the clip, the teaser of this episode had come out. Listen, folks, I don't watch trailers. I don't watch clips. We don't watch because why?
Not even a little bit, man.
Yeah, the episode's in advance, so we can do this for you all. Y'all know what it is. So he was like, look at Marvin, always eating. So I was looking forward to seeing Marvin eating. And yes, we got Marvin snacking. And folks, the reason why I think Marvin eats is because this is him battling his addiction. I think, you know, it's people have gum, people have chips. You know, it's either that desire to always have something to kind of work those same nerves and joint movements, or it's to either just completely counteract it by being busy by doing something else. So, you know, it could be drugs, but it could just be something like cigarettes. It could just be overly addicted, and this is his way of coping with it. So that's why you always see him snacking of some of the store. And it's the movement. It's the movement. If you ever see somebody, I love sunflower seeds, and I completely have an addiction to them. But if you ever
like that.
I play baseball, so that's why. I'm a baseball guy, so that's why. And that was the snack of choice on the field. But like, if you ever see any other regular person eating sunflower seeds, it's probably because they have some other addiction.
Snack of choice for a lot of heads out there too.
Yeah, well, yeah.
like it is what it is. Everybody has that vice. It's just another like thing they give Marvin that's great to bring in the picture of who this character is, that he's constantly snacking, and for you to bring that correlation, like, you know, he is a former drug addict. He has to cope somehow, some way with it, and it is the constant movement of constantly eating and things of this nature, because it's giving him and releasing those same endorphins that he got from drugs, and knowing I'm not going back in that life. This is what I do instead. It's a dope thing to bring up.
I just think, and the more and more I think about London and his performance, I start to question, how do they write for this guy? He does have a comedian background, so, you know, it's easy for him to improv, but he just has so much range to do with this character that you can just tell that there's lines that they just have to just leave blank and let him go at it. And I think this scene where we see him, eating the pizza, bonding over the pizza, as he says here, with Sal's son, Capone, which we already knew where this was going, as he was like, "Oh,
Yep.
you from that part of Jersey," and we didn't go as thorough as we should, but yes, we knew that he couldn't be over there because it was going to be problematic. At least I thought it was going to be problematic for the Italians from being over there. But it wasn't just the Italians, because he got put over by the cop. It's the fact that he can't go over there, period. Everybody notices him. He can't stake out. There. Yeah, like, so he's
not be black in New Jersey in the 90s.
Yeah, but
crazy.
But I am wrong here. I thought he was just not over the chick. No, he's trying to
said it.
He's trying to get her out of there.
I said, remember when he was arrested, they said they had someone,
a rat,
who was talking, and it was always Tony. And I said, it's her. He has to get rid of her.
Yep.
Hey, I knew that part was coming up. I was waiting for that part to come up.
So Capone says, "Listen, I'll do the job, but my dad can't be involved, as we already knew, and also, he said you do it for $5, and is the money good? Cool, I'll think about it, and." We'll get back to it. We know with him thinking about it, he had to check his resources and whatnot. But he says, "Look, I feel like we're bonding over the pieces." So, we saw the plot developments occur from everything that's been sprinkled per last episode. Now we go to Cartier and Rock out. And listen, Cartier is one preaching motherfucker. Every scene they just like, all right, here we go. He's just like somebody's uncle. Always got to get in there and get 50 lines in. And Rock is just sitting there like, I guess dinner good, but I'll just listen to all this BS that he's saying. I'm going to BS because she got him on something that he tried to stand for last episode that she definitely says, that's just something you saying out here. So my man is a slick talker. I think we can kind of start to tilt the needle a little bit, because he looked like he had this established business. It looked like he was able to, move weight and but still be able to clean money through ours. So like everything's intact. And he showed a little bit of muscle and authority last episode, but looks like we have a different dynamic this episode. So, we get introduced to Tremont, one of them. We'll just call him Trey, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Who, as I always say, anytime you're gonna mention something in the DMV, my man is the distro in the DC, Maryland area, which means that he had Baltimore lock, and he was going right down 295 right into DC, or 95, whatever way he want to go. And he was just running shop in that area. Again, I'm still intrigued. Will Power ever go down there to explore some story? Because there's got to be, with so many references in this area, there got to be something here. And I gotta say,
and not just in Baltimore. I'm tired of people just going to Baltimore. I understand Baltimore exists, but come on, man.
Yeah.
Nah.
But yeah, we see Tremont kind of comes in and kind of just like, nah, I do my thing. We got something to work out, but like, my money's my money, and Cartier's kind of like, no, your money's my money, and he's like, okay. And Rock looks at him and is just like, guess you out here just, rock eyes, of course,
selling wolf tickets.
Yeah, wolf tickets.
This man clearly thinks he operates independently of you. But it's also another flaw that Cartier keeps on making is, why the hell are you not seeing Rock as the proper threat, and you are telling her your business structure? My guy, you are slipping. If you're not slipping, you're doing a hell of a setup on Rock.
Slipping's the word? Slipping's the word here? My man is this. You know what it is. He googly-eyed over her. My man sees her as, and I get that he respects her as a queen. As, you run your business, but like,
fuck that. Not in this game. What they used to in the 90s in DC, when you was in this business and you was faking, this nigga out here bojangling. Like, how the hell are you slipping this much? When you just he's telling her his whole, he gave up the person who's his distro, and he pinpointed him like, hey, this is my guy who moves stuff. Like, come on, man.
I tell you why I give him a little credit here. It's completely still irresponsible. I give him a little credit because he's never seen nobody like Rock. And could you imagine the idea that you're in a game where you know everybody? He knows everybody. He knows the Jamaicans. He got his folks.
Yep.
Anytime you name somebody, music business, art business, the drug business, he know everybody. He connected. And then he meets Rock, and he knows of Rock, but didn't know how Rock was getting down. And he's been taking her. These are dates that he's taking her on.
Yes.
For Rock, these are business moves. These are per diems for her, because everything she like she said, I would never pay for this.
Not per diems. It's
I would never pay for
all the
this.
time. It's what women say all the time about dudes. How about you stop thinking with the little head and start thinking with the big head? Because when you don't, you get trapped in with what's going on with Rock. You say he's googly eyed. He's feeling Rock.
Oh, he's whipped. He's definitely whipped.
Rock.
Absolutely.
And Rock is milking him for as much information as possible.
Yep, as she should. And that makes her dangerous. But also, like, this is what a lot of women do. And guess what? I don't foresee this to be Cartier's future, but like, this is how motherfuckers get set up. Easily.
All the time.
Easily, because the next thing he gonna let her know is where he lay his head at night. Not a problem. As soon as you close those little eyes of yours, have my goons run up in your spot.
Exactly. Hey, Biggie warned us already. Like, this is all over, ready to die. I need y'all to listen. Like, it's certain things you don't want to necessarily set yourself up with. And again, Rock is something different, but Rock is someone he's attracted to. And Rock is someone he doesn't see Rock as a threat.
That's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. And yeah, it's gonna be his demise. It's very simple.
He sees Rock as someone to impress.
Yeah. I would love to have him back.
Nothing worse than a nigga who feels the need to impress someone.
Yeah,
man, they are the most dangerous people in the world.
And that's the problem, is because it was never that. She wanted to learn more, but he didn't have to impress her, because she already respected him. And then once he started to go from lecture time to stunting, then she's okay, young man, do what you gotta do. I'm just gonna eat all this up, and I'll just sit here and look cute.
I'm just sitting back, peeping game. You know, got her little bustier on. Rock is real quiet in the corner, not saying nothing. And then she did what women do. She picked the perfect moment to say something. Yeah, you're like, man, he just playing. She said, You know, you should say, you know, what's that about? That thin line between the two. Guess that ain't the case, huh? Just like a woman. She put the battery in his back, and the moment the battery got in his back, he turned on his distro and then left her the opportunity to say, you don't want to work for him anyway. Yeah. Bet on this side.
His story arc gets very interesting too. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but man, if it wasn't for somebody else slacking, like he would, I would say right now, the biggest liability to himself has to be Cartier, but he got a luckily saving grace towards the end of this episode, but we'll talk about it. Anyway, we go to room 402, folks, and that is the sex dungeon of Paloma, the sex goddess of Kanan. I'm glad you're safe.
Have you ever like had a crush on your girl's mom?
Of course, everybody has, man. Everybody had, and everybody fantasized this. And only like three of my homies from the block, especially at our young age, has gotten this. I will give a shout out to my man. I think he probably listened to this too. I know one of my other mans do. But shout out to my man that got that teacher. Good old Sarasville days. Shout out to my man who had the teacher in his bag, done took her car, ran it into a fence because he didn't have a license, and just fucked up all the money.
Reckless, Joe. Absolutely reckless.
And did he take an L? Hell nah, because my man was a minor. But nah. It's man, listen, every young kid's fantasy is this. But man, when you look at this as an adult, this shit is cringe, bro. Because it's just like,
that shit is sickening that she manipulated the situation to sleep with Kanan and then flipped it when her daughter walked in the room and she said, man, look, every woman gotta learn this. What, like, watch your mama around your man? Like, that ain't the person you supposed to be watching. But if my girl mama look like that, I'm smashing. It is what it is. Like, especially at that young of an age, you don't know no better. Like Kanan is still a kid.
Yeah. It's just
mama bad.
It's just really hard to like put myself in Kanan's shoes, but I will say that in my young adult mind of fantasies, I think they really handled this scene to a T. Yes. And for anybody who don't know, because it's got to be like 20% of people that are like, this would never happen.
Shit.
Blasphemous. Blasphemous.
Shit. Y'all bugging if y'all don't think this happens, man.
And Mom Dukes came in. I mean, I want to break down every bit of the scene. He comes in, he gives the gun. He's like, "Thank you." The gun did what it had to do. He kept it G. You know, he wasn't flirting. He just said, "I had to return this because you gave it to me. I did what I had to do." She said, "I'm glad it makes it safe." Notice that she opens up her robe a little bit, positions a little bit to him, kind of blocks him off a little way. I mean, she's completely predator right now. And he's like, where's Corinne? Oh, she's out with her friends, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, listen, I'm just going to jump a little bit ahead here. The mom was not trying to be covert about this at all. Because she's like, oh, she's out with her friend. Probably was a lie. But also, if she was very much of where her daughter whereabouts was, and et cetera, then she would have never got walked up on, because she would have been trying to plot out for that. Instead, she wanted to give her daughter trauma. She wanted to fuck her daughter. Yeah, not at all.
She wanted her daughter to walk in.
At all. And you see
Roberta Kelly didn't care.
And you see she doubled down at the end. She just completely seduced my man. But yeah, I mean, my man Kanan, he laid down a cougar, you know, and yeah, she bad, and that's what it is. But like, yeah, my man, and I guess, like, is there something to make of this? Yes, it is, because I said this last episode. You got to know, if there's one person who ain't going for this shit, that's Mom Dukes. And now that she know, because I knew she was going to find out, Mom Dukes is pulling up, and she will own.
That's it.
She will own. This is why I started this part of this episode off. This part of this episode off was saying this is room 402, because guess who's gonna be owning room 402 very soon? Rock. And guess who's next door to room 402?
Famous.
And guess who owned that?
Rock.
Crown.
Kanan took her money. No. Kanan took Rock money to get the Famous apartment.
It doesn't even matter, because you heard what Rock said earlier. What do you own, Rock? I own a studio and a lawnmower. So if that studio points to Crown, which points to Lou, and her money is Lou, and she owns Crown, she owns apartment 400, whatever it is. She owned that motherfucker. Stay tuned for the next episode of Martin, because that's what's gonna be happening right now.
She gonna beat the shit out this. She gonna beat the shit out this woman for fucking her son.
Beat the shit. No, Rock don't fight. That's an L, straight L. And then, you know what? She might even turn her daughter into a savage and make her daughter do that shit. Wouldn't that be G? You know, Rock like to empower her woman.
That is true.
Man, but yeah, crazy. Yeah, Kanan got turned out. But that's not the biggest part of this.
But you understand why. Even afterwards, after she blew up and threw the milk at her mom, and her mom just sensually looked at her like, bitch, the milk don't bother me. And Kanan like, man, I got to get up and go. Like, you know, this is crazy. And she continues to seduce him. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
More of the story. More of this episode. God, I hope you women. AJ, I know you watching too, so let us know. That's our girl. That's the homie. I need you to be real loud in the comments. Do you need to finish by any means necessary? By any means necessary, do you need to finish? You don't care what's at stake. The Jamaicans can run up in that spot. I mean,
the daughter can run up in the spot. It's like, dog, you talk about pressure. Y'all like, you gonna get this off no matter what. I don't give a fuck what happened to you.
And it's wild because we get songs made against us called Minute Man and all this shit. And we're just like, look at these circumstances, all right? Like, motherfucking Jamaicans jumped my ass in the whole studio, and you're like, hey, he came in 1 minute. Like, fuck, I didn't have shit else to work with here. Like, shit is wild in this.
The pressure. the pressure that you put on me, like, get the fuck out of here, Joe.
This episode is wild, folks. That's I mean, we don't know how to act, bro. We don't know how to act. This episode
Because
was
this
wild.
episode feels like the episode that happens before the break.
Yes, I know. Yeah,
Not the first one after the break. This completely felt like the episode that you get, and then they go on that break, and you like, dog, I can't wait to see what happens. It's a hell of an episode that they pulled off.
Yeah,
that's all we can say. Again,
anywho, is the moment we see Kanan smashing his girlfriend's mother, it gets transitioned into Bible study, as we mentioned, and the religion brainwashing is occurring. Dude over there trying to shoot a shot with Juke, and just to go for it, they get out of Bible study. We got Kenya up there looking at Juke, completely ignoring the dude that's in front of her as she sees Juke and the guy engaging, and he's just like, yeah, let me get your number. Back to the pen and paper days, man. I wish those came back. I really wish. I would love to see somebody.
Had to go to the dance, go to school, and see how many numbers you could get. Little paper when you ball the joint up, like, do you like me? Or you send a little note, do you like me?
Yeah,
were you so many girls in elementary school and middle school? It was crazy.
When your handwriting could jeopardize the whole mission. You could be like, what was her name? And you can't even read your own shit.
What was her number? Fuck.
You be like, bro, back in the days when there was only 7 numbers, you be like, damn, I only could read 5 of these. Hey, that would have been crazy if we got to see that. If we got to see her only write 7 numbers on that joint, that would have really just took me back. That would have been crazy.
Nah, when Braz used to just write 6 numbers and say, if you want me, you'll guess the last. It's like, if you won't stop playing with me.
You brought up a very important part because I was going to ask you at this part, do you think he gave her the right number? But yeah, as we see later on, did you at this point think that she had gave him the right number? But you mentioned an important thing that it wasn't about them two. It was about her and her mother. And she saw that and she's like, I made you proud. The gospel is taken on. I've been delivered.
Delivered. Yeah, exactly.
So we see the I ain't gay no more.
Saying, I don't like women's no more.
I don't like women's. That dude Anthony Cartwell, I think his name is. That's
that boy wild.
Yeah,
that's still a wild. That it is between that jump and the other woman went up that jump. Say, I was out here sucking dick, and the preacher like, nope, give me this mic. It's not what we doing. It's not what we do. And shout out to all the preachers out there, especially the one we met at the Power Jump.
Yeah,
he's been going through it. My boy,
still in the mix
with the thickest gold chain in the world. Now he choking bitches out in service. It's amazing.
And not in the top 10 of the celebrity list of that party, which is again just really wild.
But the biggest chain out of everybody there.
Yeah, and clearly, if you thought anybody was going flat,
collection plates must be crazy there.
Yeah. And then there's that other guy that's kind of coming out of the woodworks that was like, y'all didn't get me my Movado watch. The guy, these churches are wild out here, folks. Like, that's
if you begging for a Movado watch, you are a broke person. Come on, son.
Sad.
Come on, man. Come on, dog. At least step yourself up. Ask for a Richard Mille at least. Not a Movado though.
Sad.
You can buy one of them jokes off of you don't look. What's the little machines you used to put $1 in and you grab something out? You probably get a Movado watch from one of those. Stop playing, Joe.
As we go to the crack house now, things ain't selling. That's why it's a whole line back there. Marvin comes in, he looks at Lou's like, what the fuck are you doing? And Lou is collecting money. He says he got it all in his head. And they make the right question, because it's the first thing I said is like, hey, you fucking up the books here. This is the scene that I don't understand, because it appears that Lou took money to pay the Jamaicans, but he didn't. Because he said he got the money from Cartier.
Was it paying the Jamaicans he needed the money from Cartier, or was it the protection he needed from Cartier?
I don't know. I mean, Cartier named,
because he clearly took the money.
Cartier name dropped the top Jamaican, which somewhere down in my notes, so I'll say it in a second. But he definitely said like, oh yeah, he doesn't fuck around. So like, if you know, and he said, well, he said I'll make sure you get the money back, and that's what Cartier did the proposition of saying, well, make me a % owner, give me half of what Crown has, and that that settles up, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But what did he do with the money is what I'm confused at. Or there's a couple of scenarios here. Maybe we don't focus too much on this. Was there not enough money here because of what Kanan had been doing?
I don't think so.
And he needed more.
A lot of money missing.
It's
he
weird.
shut down. He completely shut down a crack house.
And he never goes there. That's not even his spot.
Yeah. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, because that wasn't the spot where they meet at. That was another spot, right?
No, that was the same. That was the same apartment building. But Lou's just never there taking money.
Yeah. That's actually Kanan's job to do the drops.
There you go. It's not Lou's job to do the job. And Marvin immediately knew Lou was taking the money for himself. He wasn't taking the money to get a rock.
It's so sad because Lou is in the crosshairs of everybody money laundering around.
Lou is stuck in a situation that happens a lot and happened a lot to folks in the 90s when it became to the music business. They didn't understand you can't escape the streets by going into a business that's ran by street dudes. And that's what the music business was back then. And I think that's where Lou is catching himself up in, is like, I'm trying to get out the streets and thought music would be my escape. I don't want my sister involved in this. But now I got another shark involved in it that's really there for the same exact reason.
Yeah. That I mean, like, I we'll talk about it a little bit, but that's probably the biggest thing of like things reshuffling going forward. Anyway, we have Howard. This is my favorite scene, folks, because this is the I fucking told you all. We get Howard coming in, and you may not know that woman that's in there that is raising hell. But I know a black auntie or a black mother when I see one. And she's raising hell because that has something to do with her kid. Ain't no black mom gonna be up in that police precinct if it ain't something to do with their kid. Point blank. Telling you, you don't, either the courtroom or the jail, if you see them in there, that has something to do with their little one. So you see this lady in there and you're like, oh, she's going off. Who the hell is that? I swear I already knew. I fucking already knew.
Did that was Scrap Mom?
It was Scrap Mom. And they came in and said, no, her son's not the CI. She's the CI. And she's in here because she know her son would not have killed herself. She's not believing that. And she can come in on that because she's doing them favors. So she can come in there on that position of like, I'm doing this, so I need y'all to figure out that. Like,
killed
for real.
My child. Yep.
Well, I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit here and say I told you all because y'all was like, I told you all who kept trying to come for me about Howard and said, why would he lie? Why would he lie about that? And so on. I said, because he wanted a position of either control or trust with Rock, and he threw out information that he did not validate.
Yep.
And we lost a good one in Scrap because of that. You mentioned last episode, by all means, Scrap was the most loyal, should still be around. And for the same reason she gave, who was it last episode? That she gave somebody a pass, Royale, and Scrap, all of a sudden, it's just odd to me.
Had to take that L? Yeah.
This makes, so the important thing is, besides us losing Scrap, we also can ensure that Rock, now with the guilt of knowing she made the impulsive decision, the wrong decision, she's not going to tell Lou. There's no way she tells Lou.
Not a chance in hell.
But now that means that we can question everything, every decision that Rock made, even the one she wanted to make at the end of this episode, because now she's going to second guess herself every single
Do you think
time.
that's what that is?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's 1,000% her second guessing herself, because she was so hell bent that she's like, listen, he's a rat. He's got to go. She now thinks
I think she's gonna second guess getting information from outside sources.
Fine.
If she can confirm it, she's gonna do it no matter what.
Absolutely.
Because Also go to the conversation. I know we're going to get to the conversation between her, Juliana, and Juliana's cousin. Like, it's the same situation when she's like, "Hey, never react off of emotion."
And that's what she. I mean, again, I think yeah, it now puts Rock in a position to have a consciousness which she never had before, because she's like, oh, if I feel something, I'm gonna do it. If I say it, I mean,
think about your situation first. Is it worth it?
Yeah,
Who's your source?
Patina's so damn fine, and she's such a good actress.
My goodness, yes, amazing actress.
Should I be I am Cartier. Like, yeah, you know, Big Go Bell Media, you know, we record these days, and like, yeah, these are content. I'm telling her everything. Next thing you know, she got a channel that got like 100 million followers. And you're like, damn.
Exactly.
Like,
man,
what
these
the
are
fuck?
stars connects right here.
Nah, seriously, and it's good because now I think we're going to see a little bit of a different approach of Rock, because she does not show emotion, even though we can see it because we're guys, and I think we may have had interactions with women like this. Like, even though when Symphony was like, "I'm leaving," she was hurt, shattered. Y'all, if you didn't pick up on that,
and put that mask on so fast, like, well, man, nigga, if that's what you gotta do, you gotta do.
And,
like, nah.
He called your bluff. He called her bluff. He said, "You always tell me now. When have I told you no? It doesn't matter." And her feelings. She
my God, Symphony completely flipped the tables on her. That's why, and she don't know what to do.
Yeah,
completely flipped the tables. I hold all your secrets. I ain't got no secrets.
And it's wild, bitch, because she
trusted my secrets.
This is why it's wild. We'll get to that in a second. So anyway, yeah, Howard right now understanding that the CI information was incorrect. So that one-eye bandit thing you did, yeah, you fucked up, sir. Well, you didn't fucked up because you didn't want him to get off.
Oh, he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly. and again, even with him being exposed to this, I don't think he voluntarily told her that because he was trying to help her. Because all his whole interest is helping Kanan, and helping her doesn't always help Kanan. He knows what she's doing, and as he said, you keep doing your BS, that's going to get Kanan in the crosshair. How does Scrap fit in that equation at all? Especially if Scrap was a CI, how does that get Kanan in the equation when you can completely influence the CI? You can get involved and know what's happening and run back to Rock and tell him, like, hey, you know, CI's going to do this and this. So, you know, just in case. So blah, 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 which could protect. So, like, understand, like, there's a tactic, a high level tactic happening there. But we'll talk about that probably more in the season. Anyway, we got Marvin and Juke. This was another interaction with the two of them. Comes in, say, how you been? Juke is responding now. So progress. It's like Juke's been to therapy. No, it's not. She ain't been to therapy. She's been delivered. So now she's
been a Bible study.
Yeah, she's been a Bible study.
She's been a Bible study. That's what that is. That's that Bible study right there.
And he got a new approach. He said, like, listen, I'm looking for your aunt. So I was looking for. He's about to walk out, and he said, hey, why didn't you tell me about your mother? And then she said, listen, I wasn't going to tell you. And he said, you know, I'm not going to tell you how I found out. It is what it is. But then this is where he's like, yeah, she left both of us and just kept going. You know, she had a baby, ran off. And stopped and never looked back. And I've been here. And although, I fucked up, I'm still trying.
I'm still one here. Yeah.
And I mean, he showed vulnerability. This comes from per conversation of Rock, per, you know, his therapy sessions. Like he has a new approach. And I think he's starting to gain connection with her, which is.
And the most important thing he said, don't forget, she's only for herself.
Yeah, who?
Nothing of that. She's only for herself, and you'll find out that she's only for herself. And Juke gives her that opportunity to be a mom on her terms, with a daughter on her terms. It brings up, how does Juke react to this?
Oh, we know how this is going. we know where this is going. We know where this is going because when you talk about traumas that really makes a person's that can send a person's livelihood in a certain trajectory.
Yeah.
So, and she's already been physically abused. She's already lost the love of her life. what's the next thing you could do? A betrayal of a parent.
Betrayal of the parent that you always wanted to be there.
That you always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one that you can paint with a rosy picture.
Yeah.
Because they were never around.
Yeah. And
when that motherfucker come into focus, that's when the problems hit.
And I got a lot of theories of how this happens because, yeah, we're gonna see. Anywho, Tremont, whatever his name is, he took a beating because, of course, he would, because Cartier was upset because of what Rock did and got in his feelings. And my man said he slipped. Funny guy. But anyway, Rock offers him a deal. She knows he's the distro in the DMV area, and folks, DMV. Just to be clear, because somebody came for me about this, DMV stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia. I don't.
What do you think it stood for?
It's not even worth my time. It's just to be clear that
shit, somebody look.
People.
The DMV was created for people in Maryland that feel cool and connect themselves to DC.
But shop
and it's a trust. Yeah, you can say cap,
but every area.
But it's a tri-state area also.
But that's what I was gonna say. Every area that has like a tri-state connection all has a nickname. Period. Yeah. You know, so just another one. Just let it go, folks. Don't be making it seem like somebody makes it like I built it as that and I didn't have justification to do so.
That is clearly somebody who's not from this area. You don't understand. Like,
yeah,
I believe in what I said. And also the DMV it rarely includes Baltimore, which is very weird.
Or Richmond, Virginia, just in case anybody else.
Virginia. Yeah. Those are not connected to the DMV at all.
We may take
DC, PG County, Mo County, maybe a little bit of Anne Arundel County, Arlington, Alexandria. Like, it ain't extending too long here.
Sometimes we
don't know.
Hey, sometimes we let our cousins Virginia Beach be included too. You know, they do something in the water
Virginia
this
Beach
year.
Is their own little monster though.
I know, but
they stand on their own. Like Baltimore, Norfolk, Richmond, they stand on their own.
We let them throw something in the water in DC this year. That's our cousins. That's our cousins.
That's our festival now.
No, that's still there.
That's our festival now.
We can't. That's
belong in Virginia Beach.
That's some DC
that's
shit.
Now.
See, that's our DC. That's some DC shit.
I'm a DC dude. What you expect?
This claiming shit that ain't really there.
Nigga, we claim everything. Let's let y'all know that.
Yeah, we had better urban gear though. Just FYI, I'm a Maryland gear, by the way. But anywho, you know,
madness growing up. That's what that is, shorty.
And Makuna was definitely top tier of all that. So
Makuna, see what I mean? See. And this is how we get along, people.
And shooters.
That's Southeast.
No,
don't play with me.
Y'all had Hobo in Southeast.
Northeast. My bad. Shooters is Northeast.
Fair.
Hope Southeast.
Yeah.
And again, madness. If you're from DC, you know what madness is. Madness in backyard, uptown.
That's true. That's true. But Rock is here trying to make him a better deal, better product, better price. She's trying to cut him under there because she's talking about expansion, which we know that she talks about later on. I'm gonna zoom through a bunch of stuff. We got a bunch of things to go through real quick. So you know, this is when Symphony and Kanan they meet up for food, and he said, "Listen, I got a job in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina." At that, shout out to my Carolina Panthers. He's going to move. It's a deal he can't pass up on. Meanwhile, Burke is lurking, as we know Burke to do. Of course, she calls in on him, pulls him over. She's witch hunting, folks. This is annoying. It's pandering, and she's definitely let's do the list. You want to do the list?
Greg Knox, it's Rodriguez, it's Sachs, it's every bad power cop. She's following the trend. You was hoping she wouldn't go down this road.
And she's
down this road now, Joe.
Very much. This is it. This is the last one right here. But I gotta say, we have not got a lot of Symphony in all these episodes. This was the one we saw a lot of character. Where he obviously knew his rights and the law and he wasn't playing no games. He protected Rock, even with him and Rock kind of breaking it off because he respects Rock. I think he loves Rock, but he also has love for Kanan and he played this well. So I really enjoyed this because we finally starting to see some depth into this character instead of him just being this yes man to Rock that can dress really good. You know what I mean? So seeing him being able to handle his own was really dope, you know? And he's been very mild tempered, you know, so kind of see him kind of fluctuate from that is kind of just like, oh, he's not happy about this, but he also ain't about the games. And they gave him some good lines here. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rock is still trying to buy that new home. As she mentions, I'm paying cash while they worry about my money. And then they say, well, we want to make sure you can keep it up. He said, well, listen, I own a record label and I own a lawnmower. I'm going to cut this damn grass. There's been a lot of theories about this house, but I'm just not going to go down the track. What are you about to say?
I said HOAs are horrible.
For sure. Yeah, no facts. I didn't know it was that bad then. Was it that bad then?
Yeah, worse then. They had more control.
Huh.
Now they just raping niggas, but back then they can really control you. But again, hold on. What's the theories about the house? Please. You know, I don't even want to deal with people, power group chats, and possibly the theories about this house. Nope. Is this Braden's house? What is it?
Nah, we got so much more to cover. I'm not even going to go down it. They're gonna.
I know it's not Ghost Penthouse. Yeah,
no, it is.
House.
That's what they built. That's what they built the foundation. That's where Truth is at. This is where Truth was built.
Oh wait, this ain't the house that Tommy bought Lakeisha with cash, is it? Like, please help me.
No. But I will say, I'll just say, people say this is the house that Juke brought Tariq to when he was kidnapped.
Oh,
yeah. I was like, oh, okay. I like
that.
that.
That may not be a bad thought.
Yeah.
Granted, I thought it was in the city that she took him to.
I don't know. Just
I don't remember it being in wherever part of New York, upstate, that Rock bought this house.
Yeah, or is this Jersey?
Nah, I think this is upstate New York. Is it Jersey?
I think it's
Jersey.
It's
New York.
It's a typical New York resident thing to buy property in Jersey. So I wouldn't think
it could be Jersey City.
Yeah,
it could be Jersey City.
Yeah. So anyway, and everybody still do that now. Like every top celebrity got a house in Jersey and got a condo or something. Yeah, or don't live in New York at all. Yeah, exactly. So Juke goes and gets the tape fixed, $20. I'm not even going to try to tell you what the person was that she went to go see, because I know somebody wants me to say something stupid, and I'm not. I gave that to y'all in power force. I'm not going to say it again, because I know where y'all want to go with that, but it doesn't matter. This is a
she got it fixed.
This is an innocent civilian. This is not a drug-related person that's in Chicago that I possibly said was a Jew. oh, did I? Yeah.
The Hasidics. Don't worry about it. Yeah. We good. She went to PA Palace to get the tape fixed. That's all y'all need to know.
Stop it. Hey, so Royal and Unique, they in New Jersey. They thriving, and Unique has extended his operations to another building, and and doesn't let Rock know. Royal's obviously is loyal to Rock, but questioning Unique's tactics, and Unique's like, listen, Rock put all her problems here because that's the way she can get rid of all of us together, but we're gonna make our moves, we're gonna make our money. Anyway, Marco pulls up, collects the money, and then he asks us about Marvin, and he says, fuck Marvin, but hey, he said, listen, he got me a job, I want to know if the money good. And he said, yeah, Marvin's a man of his money, so it's all good. Only thing that's important here is understanding that Roel and Unique are a alibi to what happened to Marco here.
That's the most important part of that. Yep.
Absolutely. And then he said, man, those two doing business, hide your women and hide your children. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Anyway, moving forward, this is where Burke, who did not come to bed last night, but at her old chick house, and says she puts together something that you mentioned about when did Rock and
Howard
hook up. Says she was 17. 16. She did say 16. Initially, 16. They said 17. So it's interesting because it was 17 mentioned. It was a 17. Remember when she was talking to the cop? And I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong scene. This is where she is inside the police precinct, and she got the records, and she said this is a 17-year-old female informant in the 70s that he had, and somebody else is eavesdropping. And as he said, if anyone finds out that I shared this, I can be out of a job.
Yep.
there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So moving forward is where, Juliana, her cousin, and Rock wanting to know about the expansion, wants to know what she's doing in Jersey. There's that. Next, we get one of Tremont's persons eavesdropping on that same meeting, looking very scary coming out of that place, looking in every direction. Tremont said he wants to know everybody who's involved. This is the character that was introduced that may be a player. This is about three scenes now of him, and they got him lurking. This is why all the puzzle pieces are kind of shuffling up right now.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting. Anywho, Lou gets out his car and
my guy
got jumped. And what's weird to me is that, would you ever have thought, again, that Crown being gone would have caused him so many problems? But he got jumped, got his tail light busted, got jumped by 3 Jamaicans. I gotta say, by 3 people and 1 with a bat, he left out in good shape. A little bit of bruising, but nothing bad.
Just a little bit on the face. That's it. He just had a little bit on his face.
Interesting. Interesting for sure. Anyway, Symphony goes to see Rock at the house. And, this is where he tells her I'm leaving. Clearly, she's hurt, really hurt. And like I said, she said, you tell me no plenty of times. And he said, no, I don't. And she definitely was looking like, okay, well, whatever. But then he tells her about Burke. And she gets super defensive. She's just, and that's what it is. When it comes about the Kanan, it's just super defensive. So I don't have no secrets. And he kept it a buck. And she didn't acknowledge it at that point. She was just
not anything he said. Yeah.
Not at all. Anyway, Marvin graduates therapy or his group circle session. I don't know. Y'all know what it is.
It was the group session with therapist who was hitting on him with my guy, the bald white guy,
Joe.
He said I wanted to kick your ass that first day.
Yeah, got him a new friend, Mr. Clean, and his little therapist session leader says, "Listen, I hope you stay in touch. We all seen that was coming, so looks like he's gonna have a healthy relationship, folks."
Is it? You can't fuck your therapist and have a healthy relationship.
He graduated. He out of there. He ain't coming back. Black people don't go to therapy, especially in that time. They didn't go to therapy.
You can't ever fuck a former therapist and then be healthy.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna be good. Anyway,
she ain't gonna do nothing but analyze you, and then tell you to finish like the rest of these evil women in the Power universe.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, Kanan is getting turned out, as we said, and he learned the hard way. And we already talked about the Korean walks in and throws the thing, and that's that. Now, where are we at now?
At this point, we get we're close to the end of the episode, really, because we kind of touched on everything.
Yeah. Oh, so this is where we get the whole thing about Crown and Cartier, and it says Landon Malley. That's Molly or Malley, whatever it is. That's who is the person. He said, "Listen, like that's you fucking with him, like some true shit." Anyway, he said Crown is really gone. Crown ain't dancing, insinuating that Crown is dead. And he said, "Listen," he said, "Rock cannot be touching this label." Lou also had barely any marks, and I had to point that out. But this is also where he says you're going to get your money back, and this is where he says, "Let me be a silent partner, half of Crown's
half of what Crown had,"
because he wanted to know where Crown's stake, what happens to that, and whatnot. But here's the important thing: so with Rock trying to undermine Cartier, he does not even know that he is secretly undermining her, because she says, "I own the business." And he's
flipping and taking it like he owns the business.
It's a fake hostile takeover.
Yeah,
it's working too, because now he got collateral over her, and we'll see how that plays out. Anywho, Tony, we up at Tony's spot. We got the Italians and this reckless other guy Dom out there who just say he learned his lesson from the last time. I do not know why he said this dude is wild. I just want to say,
he was gung-ho in killing Kanan. Here, he just froze up.
Wildness. First of all, Tony, you had a good run. Every scene in episode you had, you were having sex. So, it was only a matter of time before we knew she was going to get the bullet to the head, because this character was so dismissible.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Which makes me wonder though, because the way they powerisms, we're not going to talk about that, but just the way they came in the room, I would assume they ran into him also.
I was thinking that too, but yeah, he put out a fight and Tony gets killed. It looks like good old why his name slipping out of my head, but Sal's son is
also, which is the biggest murder of this episode, because if you think Sal's not going to want revenge,
it's his son. It's his son. And
the question is going to be, why was he there? Who was he there for? Like, who abandoned him?
And well, we know it's only 4 other people that know. And Dom is definitely dead now. This is his second strike. He's definitely dead. But then there's 3 other folks know: Marvin, Lou, and Rowell. And wait, Marvin, Unique, and Rowell. And that's a big piece of intel to tell the guy. So we're going to see how that plays out. But God, that sucked, because I guess I wanted to see a little bit more of that character, or maybe a little bit more of this establishment with Capone and Marvin, but guess not. But hey, Marvin's trouble's gone, but also understand that the dentist is talking, and he said, who would do this to her? And this points back to the Italians. I mean, first of all, the dentist is dead. He's absolutely dead. He already said too much. Him being alive, he should not be alive. In order who's dead, Dom is dead, number one, because there should have been no witnesses, and then he would have went back and said there was no witnesses and then got killed. But now that he is alive, and then the dentist is alive, both of those are dead. It's just a wrap. You're going to clean up. You're not going to say they're going to see an Italian guy in there with a gun that tried to kill him and know who his father is. The
point that he left that body there.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking crazy? At that point, you could put 2 and 2 together. You just can't connect it back to Marvin.
Yeah, not yet.
They're going to connect it to the dad.
Yeah, not yet. So, yeah, man. And what a bad shot, Dom, because Dom killed the guy. And that's going to be the other thing. And they're going to say, well, who killed his son? If the time going to say, I didn't shoot him. The other guy shot him.
The last thing to talk about, and it's a little bit before this one, and that is the meeting at the table with Juliana, Rock, and her cousin. Because I'll be damned if Juliana didn't look like the perfect boss at that table.
Oh, she has completely leveled up. After she got scared by Unique, it's a wrap after that.
The advice Rock gave her, like, we'll get Unique. Or her cousin saying New Jersey isn't worth its headache.
Second time she
Where's
heard
his
that?
other connection that he's willing to say New Jersey isn't worth the headache?
That's interesting.
Something to think about there.
Yeah.
Because even when Rock gave him the idea of we're going to expand and we're going to go out, and he was interested in that part, he's just not interested in her being in New Jersey.
Uh-oh. She knows another distro in another area. I swear to God, if this show goes in our area,
I don't think she's going to switch I don't think she's going to switch distros. I think that she's just going to build outside of that Jersey land something different.
Yeah. Can't wait to see. Anyway, Laverne, because I ain't gonna call her Juke in this scenario, she goes on a fun date to go see a movie, get a kiss. And that's that. And maybe she's feeling them, but maybe she's not, because she's definitely gonna let this dude down. But hey, I gotta say, my man came out sharp. That fit was the standard back in the late 80s, early 90s. Just know that my man was A1 on trying to impress little old Laverne for the night. Rock,
he was landing on as thick as humanly possible there too.
Oh, for sure. We got Rock and Howard meeting up to put things together. Want to know who's what and what's what. This is where he said One-Eye Jack wasn't a snitch. I made the mistake. You know how things could be at times. And also, was very much stating that his mom was not convinced that he killed himself. So, whoops. And then not to mention,
we kind of know what pattern that's going down.
Yeah. And then obviously you want to know, what's the problem with your boyfriend? Is he a problem? Oh, he is a problem. She is fucked up for that.
And it's that ring of doubt that he put in her head. Like, is he such a big problem that I need to get rid of him? Yeah. Granted, this whole episode was him showing everything you do is safe with me. and still her not understanding it.
Yeah, no doubt. So this is now when we get Burke, who didn't go to bed, who puts together the information that Rock and Howard was Howard's CI when she was 16. She mentioned the key word underage and had a kid, Kanan, and she wants to know how does this all ties back into the shooting. And then Burke's girl says, "Listen, your internal affairs and no one likes internal affairs."
That's the part I was waiting for. Is when her girlfriend said, "You're acting like internal affairs," and nobody likes internal affairs because they're cops that check on cops. So they're like, "This is not the way you need to be."
Yeah, you're not investigating the shooting; you're investigating a cop. Very clear. Way two different things here, and you've already been told plenty of times to back off of this. And here you go. Anyway, very much a problem. Last few things this episode: Corinne approaching Rock saying, "I got something you should know," and I just bust out laughing.
The moment she said that, we like, "Damn, baby, it's
gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild." But anyway, Juke leaves the tape for Nicole's dad. She sees Howard in the same stride. Howard goes to talk to Nicole's dad about Shannon Burke. Now, listen, here's what's important here. He didn't just ask for anybody of this residence because, they both been in the police precinct. We all know it's about Nicole's murder. Burke. He asked, he asked for her dad in regards to Burke. Why is he?
Makes you wonder what's going to happen.
We know he has governor influence. And so we know he's asking about his partner now. What is happening? I cannot put this one together. I encourage you all in the comments below to let us know what you may think. Because this is a wild card here. I just don't know. And again, I keep saying I just was surprised that her dad, Nicole's dad, was just getting this much of a role in everything. I thought he definitely was done. And now you got Juke looking at the scenario, kind of trying to figure out how does this all work. Ziza in the studio singing songs. I live and die for the streets. So again, this is basically Murder Inc. And then we get Rock going.
God damn it. And when she was singing that song, I said, okay, is this the sequel to Streets Need a Body that we've been waiting for?
No, damn no. God, no. But also Cartier was in the studio. So, as he should be, but the deal's been made. So maybe he's in the studio a lot more. It's going to be interesting when Rock comes in that studio. It's like, what are you doing here? And he's going to be like, I own this. Whoopsie. But we'll see. And then we get
Murder Inc. They up there just.
That's right.
Not Ziza being Vita. This is crazy.
Ziza's Charlie Baltimore and Juke is Vita.
Man.
But the last scene we get Rock cutting the lights off, and I'm like, oh man, she's not gonna kill Symphony here, and she kind of choked because now she's gonna second guess herself because of all the doubt that Howard instilled in her.
Here's go. Is it second? I saw her not killing Symphony as her second guessing Howard's thought, because Howard's thought was to kill Symphony.
Probably, yeah.
And I think she's second guessing that, like, no, that's not the way. I failed for your trick once. I'm not falling for it again.
Could be. She's second guessing though, because before she was only listening to herself. So again, she's grew her consciousness to kind of cast doubt on things that she typically wouldn't have. So it's interesting. This is a long episode, folks. Again, we got a lot of jokes in here, a lot of foolishness.
It was because this was a heavy packed episode that felt like the episode you would get before a break happens.
Yeah.
If we go back and see everything that happened, the deaths we had in this episode, the revelations that we get in this episode, it felt like the episode that happens right before they go on break.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, You all jump in the comments, let us know your thoughts, your predictions, your theories of tonight's episode 7, No Love Lost. It's a lot that went down. I'm sure there's probably things we probably forgotten, but hey, you can help us out by jumping in the comments and adding your commentary there. But next week we do got some things for you all, so definitely stay tuned. And you know, we like to keep things exclusive, things interesting, so look out for all of that come next week. But welcome back, as we are back with more Power Book 3 Raising Kanan recaps. No more breaks. It's not our fault, as you know, but we're happy to be back.
Hopefully no more breaks. Guys,
Exactly.
don't just start like
Exactly.
don't y'all kick up like a CW and start giving us breaks on breaks. Nah.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you're right
We
about
need
that.
one.
Yeah. But yeah, jump in the comments. So let us know your thoughts about tonight's episode, and we'll be back next week for another recap. Thank you for watching.
Big old bell, big old bell, big old bell. All I really want is that big old bell, big old bell, big old bell. All I really need, that big